Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about this sight tool, universal sight pusher. This is an American made product. This is the Gen 4. It's called the sight tool, and this is for, I think, primarily for Glocks, but it can be used with all other firearms that have dovetail type sights. So this is my first time I'm going to be trying to use this, and I'll be giving a demonstration. So essentially how this works is it's got two plastic tabs, and those will hold the frame, and then this piece here you'll move back and forward. This piece you'll move forward with an Allen wrench. They give you the Allen wrench, you just screw it in there, and then there's two different ways you can do this. If you want to go left to right, you can take this apart and flip this sight pusher around. Really nice construction. It weighs about 1.5 pounds. Made in the USA. Hypercritical to be purchasing only products made in the USA when we can. Unfortunately, I did buy this from Amazon, but you can get this on their website, and that website, I'll put a link to it. Again, this is the 4th generation. So really nice tool. Everything seems to be very strongly constructed. I think it's about $70 or $80. If you were to change your sights with a gunsmith or a range, probably be anywhere from $25 to $40. I think mine charges $40 to be changing sights. So a couple sights and this will pay for itself. You can change your own sights. It's not that difficult. The only thing is you may have to fit the sight in a little bit on the rear, especially with Glocks, because of the tolerances. The sights are generally over manufactured or manufactured a little bit larger, and then you can kind of just mildly file them down to fit into the dovetail portion here. So I really dislike the stock Glock sights. First of all, they're plastic. Yeah, I mean, that's not a major issue. I mean, when you're buying Glocks, you're kind of inviting some plastic. But I never like this U with the front white dot. I felt always that this white U was not helpful to me. I would prefer to be able to focus just on the black, where the black opening is, to line it up with the front sight. So that's one thing I don't like about the stock Glock sights. If they were all blacked out, and there are ways to do that. You can put tape or use a Sharpie or just run your own mental block. Yeah, I don't like those. I really strongly recommend the Dawson Precision fixed rear fiber optic front, and I truly like those. I have those on my Glock 34. There's another video I put out about Dawson Precision's Magwell, and I talk a lot about those sights. Couple things here. You can bang up your slide doing this. I mean, this is a metal on metal. I'm going to wrap a little bit of blue tape, and also they recommend using credit card or hard plastic to prevent the slide from getting scratched. Every time you change your sights, you should put a little bit of just whatever oil is fine. Gun oil is fine, and that will allow these threads to move more easily. This thing taped up, just some blue painter's tape. I'm probably going to have to adjust that because the new sights hang a little bit further. So you can see here there's an angled side and a flat side. So we're going to be working with the angled side. So we will slide the slide in and get it at about the correct positioning. Line up our plastic pieces. So we'll get these pretty snug. You can also do this with a vise and a punch, but having done that a few times, I didn't want to be hammering anymore if I could avoid it. You can sort of see here what I've got going on. Just leave enough space for the pusher to contact with the sight. You can feel it sort of start to break it free. A couple things here. I did get the rear side out. There it is. This bottom part here, so it's good to get that snug but not too snug, and that will hold the frame right up against the base here. And this thing is awesome, actually. So there's 2 screws here on the bottom, Allen. They all use the same Allen. And the other thing I noticed is on this side, I was getting a little bit of digging from this into the sight pusher, so I put a credit card there, and that seemed to cure that. So I did get that side out, and there is no damage to the slide, and it's quite simple. So the next thing we're going to do here is to get this set of Dawson Precision. Going to get this rear sight out. They give you fiber optics, green. Comes with red installed, but they give you green and red. I prefer the red. They also give you a setup to be able to remove the front sight tool, and then also this aluminum to be able to pound out the old sight and pound in the new one. So we're not going to be doing that because we have a sight pusher. And this says Dawson sights are made from quality carbon steel, keep sight oiled to prevent rust. So here, this is actually the Carry series. Really good instructions too in this Dawson kit, like all Dawson products. It's excellent. Gives you a card just for the front sight, and then it gives you a card for the rear sight, front sight removal, front sight installation, and fixed rear sight removal and fixed rear sight installation. So the first thing to do here is to test fit. This dovetail fits in there at least halfway, and if it does not, then you're going to need to file. On this Dawson Precision, I can't get it in even close to halfway, so I'm going to have to start taking material off here, and you can sort of see where the contact is and where it's rubbing. So triangle file and get this to where we can get it right up to the halfway point, right about here, and then we hit the significant friction. So make sure you got the there's a little screw in here, make sure you got that out. This is a triangle file. You'll have this at home, and you'll want to file one direction, keeping the angle, not trying to change that angle, and not trying to file the back side. Alright, so I got this filed down. Triangle file is the way to go. You will lose a little bit of paint, but you know, incidental contact is okay as long as you are not actually filing on those surfaces. So this one took a little bit of more filing than the last one I did, but I got it to a point where sliding it in, I can get it halfway with very little pressure. So from there, it should be ready to use the sight pusher to get in, degrease all the surfaces. So essentially what you're doing is sliding it in, seeing how far it goes, getting your triangle file in, and trying to keep the filing surface on the dovetail and not the back or the bottom of the sight. So I've got this set up in there. One challenging part with the Dawson is there isn't really a lot of real estate behind the sight on the slide. So I'm just going to carefully, I don't know if you can visualize any of that, but credit card in between the pusher and the sight. And I also put a piece of plastic behind the sight just in case there's some friction there. And we're going to get this pushed in. It looks like we are getting some progress. So we got that on, and the other good thing about the Dawson, I mean, you can see here there isn't a lot of real estate for the sight pusher to grab the rear of the slide, but you can get it. It's just positioned more with tension on the sides than on the bottom pushing up into the sight pusher. So the good thing here about the Dawson is that it takes up almost the whole top of the slide, so you can get it centered rather easily. But so far I really like this over pounding. The last time I installed sights and used a hammer and pushed it forward, I did get a little tiny bit of scratching. I'm no expert, so I guess that's to be expected when you're doing this at home versus having an expert doing it. But so far it looks very good. No damage, no scratching, a little bit of adhesion from the tape. So next thing here is the front sight. This little tool, there's a little screw here. Put it on the screw, turn it out. You'll note that the front Glock sight is not Loctited. It just screws out and it comes out. So last step here, take some, I got some 262 Loctite. We're gonna put a little bit here, dip the threads in. You just need a real little bit right in the threads. Pretty hard to mess up Glock front sights because of the way that the hole is for the front sight. I screwed that down, hold it upside down. You can move this a little bit side to side, but not a lot. Dawson Precision does give you a shorter screw to use. Can't really adjust it because of the way that the Glock frame is drilled, which is very nice for the front sight. It's going to take 8 hours for that Loctite to cure. And the last other thing is to Loctite the set screw very delicately. Don't need a lot. The Loctite in there, try to make sure it gets in the threads. Get up with the Allen wrench. Wipe off the Loctite that came out, and make sure that you didn't put too much Loctite underneath. Nothing really came out there. So this is just a basic bore sighter. This is the Accurate line laser bore sighter. It's got these different doodads for different calibers. So we're gonna pop on 9mm. It's on there. This side goes in the barrel. There's a space here for the battery. There you go. Got the laser ready. There's a little bit of adjustment on these. So quick reassembly here. So the way this works is it slides into the barrel. If you get a nice snug fit, then you can look down the sights and see if it matches up, and that's pretty on. I mean, it's within a fraction of an inch at distance, so I'm happy with that. Here is the finished product, the Dawson Precision on the Glock 17. So really nice fiber optic front, fixed rear, sight pusher worked excellent. No visible damage. Again, this is the Dawson Precision Carry. Shout out to Sight Tool, really nice tool that they got. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe.